people usually start out on cold press. I like rough. The tight, detailed people like me, we like rough.
Okay.
Because you have more control.
It doesn't bleed as much.
Can you see? Move over a little.
I feel like when I paint, I take layers off the paper.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I do too. I never know, because I like the wet on wet theory.
Right. See, I only usually do that for skies.
Yeah.
And I did a couple. I started 3 little ones because I didn't know what I wanted to work on, and I hate my skies.
Yeah.
They're failures, so I'm not going to work on those. I like this one better.
Yeah.
So basically,
But you also taped it off, too.
I always
Yes.
do.
Okay,
always
and for
tape
years
it?
I resisted the blue painter's tape because of the color, but my favorite brand of masking tape no longer sticks. So now
really?
I do use the blue painter's tape, and I just have to ignore the color.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put a wash there, and then I would go in and do the boards afterwards.
Oh, so you kind of grabbed it.
Just throwing in some color here and there.
Now, just to
No.
No,
Maybe next year I'll try to enter some. I'm self-teaching right now.
I got rejected.
you got rejected in what?
Very
This show.
unusual. She usually wins all
No, listen to this. 1985 I started entering this show. That's 40 years, and I've never been rejected until this year.
What makes a rejection?
Right.
The judge, when they judge, it's a juried show, which means like maybe 200 people enter
Yeah.
and 100 get in.
Yep.
And I've been rejected from other shows left and right, but never Pembroke. No, in fact, this is one of the rejects right here. This got rejected.
And did they tell you why?
They don't know. They don't know who you are. or
Because
anything.
remember, if you want them to critique you, you
That's
can.
a PPA.
I know, but that might be another idea.
No, that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
I know, but you never
I
know.
chose-
You could change the rule. You guys are part of the committee.
It's a small, it's a
See,
very
now,
small
right?
volunteer.
Is it
Yeah.
that easy?
Yes.
Yeah. You gotta speak up if you don't agree. Otherwise, you'll never get heard.
I've been getting books out of our local libraries, like Duxbury, Situate. They have a lot of good resources there.
I've been going on to YouTube
Yeah, good, yeah.
and taking little lessons.
Now this is a strange picture because the light source is definitely strongly from
Right,
the right.
right.
So this is reflected light.
Right.
It's
but
really
I know,
weird.
but you don't know what it's reflected from. It's not in the.
Right.
Yeah. That
It is very mysterious because look at that.
Yeah, it's on
and
that
yet
side,
you can
yeah.
see the light coming in
Yeah,
here
it's
and
coming this
here.
way.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how I'm going to handle that. And I took
Yeah.
this thing out because I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
I did like the dark against the light,
Yeah.
but the water will be
Yeah.
dark enough. So since I get easily distracted by people watching me, I'm just doing easy stuff right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Throwing in some, I do what's called glazing. You layer in the color, you
Yeah.
never put it down direct, like the wet and wet people,
Yeah.
they put it down directly.
Yeah.
And every time I try to do wet into wet, I love it, but it's too light. And then when I go in
Yeah.
with more...
It's too what, light?
Light.
Light.
Yeah.
Because I'm so used to layering,
Yeah.
I don't have the courage to put it down directly.
Yeah.
So then when I get my first layer done and it's dry and I go, that's just the look I want, but then when I add more color, it becomes Becky.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can do to prevent it
Right.
from becoming
Yeah.
what
yeah.
I do.
I always start off so light that I can barely see it. Because what I was taught is like you start with the tea consistency.
The dog is nice.
Oh, I don't know anything
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much self-taught.
Yeah.
My paint gets darker and darker and darker.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it just needs one more layer.
Oh, mine are many layers. And that way they go back in the bathtub. I put all my paintings back in the bathtub. I stretch, not little ones like this, but the big ones.
Yeah.
I stretch the paper first.
So you get it wet.
You soak it in the tub
Yeah.
and then you clamp it all around and then you blow it dry with a hairdryer.
Oh.
And then you go watch Ninja Warrior.
Yeah.
And then the first commercial break you come back and it looks like this and you blow it dry again.
Yep.
You go back to Ninja Warrior, then you keep doing that till it looks flat, and then you don't paint on it till the next day. Now what I do so much layering that they buckle anyway.
Yeah.
I put them back when they're done
Into
in the tub.
water.
In
And they-
fact, look,
And nothing disintegrates, or?
no, because I layer them in, nothing, here it is, here's a demo of it. So there's the photo,
Yep.
and then I started, and I
Yep.
got to here,
Yep.
and I put it in the tub, and scrubbed it out.
Yeah.
I was making rain. I used
Yeah.
a toothbrush and I scrubbed
Yeah.
the rain,
Yeah.
and then you painted it back in, and it came in. There I am, 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And then another one I did in here I don't do still life, so one of the assignments was to paint something you're not familiar with.
Yeah.
But I do a lot of city scenes, and I do a lot of city scenes at night.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, gee,
That's
dirt.
still life.
So this is a pub in Ireland. I used to teach workshops in Ireland.
That looks so hard with all those
And
colors.
then this,
Yeah.
I think that's only 2 pages long, so I think that's the finished
Yeah.
painting. Yeah. So I was lucky she gave me 4 pages on this one. She
Wow.
and she died, this poor woman, right when the book came out.
No.
She died of a brain tumor.
Oh, no.
Yes, because usually one thing leads to another. The
Right,
magazines pick up on you and stuff like that. And nothing ever really happened because she
Didn't,
died.
yeah, she wasn't able to pursue her book. Well,
Yeah.
can I just see the cover of the book? And then I'm just going to
Maggie Price, she was a big pastel artist. She was
Her
head of
name?
the National
Right
Pastel Society.
This is your book?
Yes.
But I'm a photographer and I'm used to working.
You know what,
pixel by
I am,
pixel.
that's what I majored in, is
Yeah,
photography.
right.
So I
gives you a good
paid for my
foundation.
photographs.
Yeah.
Lighting,
Yep. Composition.
composition
Yeah,
and
you-
lighting.
So these are your photographs?
Oh yeah, I only paid for my photographs
Okay.
unless it's a commission.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Commissions, I'll do
So
it.
so do you remember where the light came from and everything in this
Well,
photograph?
you can see.
Yeah, right, yeah.
It's going to
Yeah.
come out looking a lot like that. I might tone that down, the reflected light, and make this brighter.
Yeah.
Because it looks so weird to me that this is lit when
Right.
the sky's so strong.
Right.
But I don't know what that won't be done today. You won't get to see that. No, that'll be a last
And
minute
the light
decision.
looks like it's coming through trees.
No, it's
obviously.
Provincetown. It's coming through nothing.
Oh, because it's
Yeah,
really.
this is P-Town.
Oh, is it
It's
afternoon light?
Late
Yeah,
sunset
yeah,
actually.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So so you want some funny demo stories? I have some funny ones. Okay. So I also play guitar. I've been in bluegrass bands all my life. And when we lived in New Orleans, we used to play 6 nights a week at Papa Joe's on Bourbon Street, my husband and I. And I literally knew 4 songs when we auditioned. And we got the gig and I had to
all you
learn
need for bluegrass.
40 songs.
Songs, yeah, for
Well, that
bluegrass.
wasn't bluegrass. But anyway,
Gotcha.
so this is the story I tell of how I became a watercolor painter. Our bluegrass band was playing out at Punk Plug, which is an Appalachian Mountain Club camp in Canton. And we used to play for a free cabin for the weekend because friends of ours lived there. And it's a big room, pretty, about like half this. 60 or 70 people watching, big screen, open windows all around, and they all had their big dogs tied up outside. So there's a song that my husband sings the first verse and I sing the second verse. Rock, Salt, and Nails it's called. So I come in singing, all the dogs all started howling. That's how I became a watercolor painter.
I don't see the link.
I've been up to her cabin 3 times, her lady house with Sue and Mark, Susan and Mark, but not in a while. You know, it was pre-COVID the last time. I retired that one. Actually, I retired from doing it at all.
That is so funny, autistic.
Yeah. With our New England accent. Artistic. Now I'm going to add some light stuff. This is from 1969.
Wow.
And my biggest brush. Oh, no, I didn't bring my 1969 brush. Oh, well, the paint isn't from it. Well, yeah. So you buy it by the tube and you squeeze it out and let it dry.
You use tube paints.
And you squeeze it out and you let it dry. Some of this paint is probably from 20 years ago because I have a bunch of these. In fact, where's my other one? Oh.
So why is this like gray?
Because I muddied up. I think I use more ultramarine blue up than anything else. I have to.
Love it and hate it.
If I need, well, you got to buy a good brand. Because, for instance, Winsor Newton has Winsor Newton Common, and that's a student, and it doesn't have enough red in it. Because my favorite thing for like a foggy sky is ochre and ultramarine blue, but it'll go green if you don't have a good ultramarine blue. So you got to buy the expensive brands of paint. What is this?
Photographing, painting from a photograph. I find that I get so detailed because there's so much detail in a photograph.
Oh, I thought you said the opposite.
No.
I thought you said your teacher
My
said-
teacher said don't get as detailed, get looser. or,
I see
or
what you mean.
zero into a part of the photograph.
See, what the people who are against painting for photographs believe is that you don't see the detail in the darks and lights and stuff as much as a photograph as if you were sitting there looking at it, which maybe is true, but I feel like if you're a trained photographer like
Right.
we all are, you know that. And you compensate. You might take some different exposures. You might, you know.
Right.
I know how to make them not
Look like a
photographs.
photograph,
Yeah. And I don't think that that's necessarily true. There are just some people who it's plein air or it's nothing.
Right.
And there's some societies, plein air societies that you, like most of my friends, they start it and then they go home and they finish it in their studio.
Yes.
There's some that won't even let you do that. You've got to paint the whole thing plein air. And I got a call one time from American Artist Magazine. They never called me back, but they were doing an article about that, and they had heard that I painted from photographs. I don't know from who, and they wanted my side of the story. And I thought, oh, this is really cool. I'm going to be an American artist, and then they never got back to me. It was probably a prank. It was probably one of my friends going, oh, I'm going to call Becky and tell her American Artist
So
Magazine.
this is probably some kind of cheating, but I'll take a picture and flip the exposure like to the extreme so I can really see where the shadows are.
Oh, yeah.
And as I'm trying to paint that picture, it just gives me a better idea of values.
Right.
And for years,
And
I
it takes
painted.
out the detail.
For years I painted from little photographs this big. Now it's on my computer and I can enlarge it and go, oh, that's what that is. I did a commission for somebody once of their sailboat with their parents in it, and it was all framed, ready to go. When she picked it up, she looked at it. Now I know nothing about boats. So she says, well, you know, you didn't put this and you changed, you know. I made boat mistakes. So I unframed it and I'm, you know, adding the red line, adding things. And then she goes, can you take Mom out? So I took Mom out. I found out years later I left Mom's arm in. We both thought it was part of the boat. And I left
In
it
the painting?
Yeah,
How do you take Mom out of a painting?
Yeah, she wanted Mom out.
You can't Photoshop it out.
No, I took it out. I took her out. You know, when I was fixing all the boat stuff, I took Mom out. But I don't know if I want to put that red thing or not.
Yeah, I wouldn't. It's distracting because you don't know what it is.
Because it's starting to buckle.
No, I just want to dry that paint right there.
Okay, and then that is one layer. That's a layer.
Yeah.
Right. So then you add on to it once it's dry to make it darker.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Just give it all there. I would. Good. It makes a nice strong black.
Strong black. And what are the two colors again? I'm sorry, I just...
Burnt sienna and ultramarine blue.
And so you never use the color black, you mix those two?
No, I mean I have it. I don't. Oh yeah, I do. I have it, but I don't use it. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get those little bits of light back here. I'm not succeeding. So the staining paints actually stain the paper. Do I have a scrap? You know what? I forgot to bring a scrap. So I can't show you, but the gritty colors, they have a grain to them. They're thicker. It's all transparent, but the gritty colors are not as transparent as the staining colors. So the gritties are the earth tones, the cadmiums, the ochres, the siennas. Those are all.
Do they kind of separate from?
They can, yeah, they look a little grainy when you make a wash.
yeah.
Okay, the staining colors. Let me find a scrap.
Yeah. I think that's all I'm working on.
I started this one. I was going to work on it, but I hate the sky. Ooh, I hate the sky.
How come?
It's
Just gonna put it away for a little bit, and then you'll look at it again and love it.
skies should look wet, and it was too dark, and I scrubbed it out so it no longer looks wet. So I'm just gonna. This is the original painting I did that I sold. I wanted a more stormy sky and brighter sunlight, and that's too much. So I'm going to turn that over and redo it so I can use it as a scrap. So, all right, so this is a gritty color. the earth tones are all gritty or grainy colors. They're thicker, you know, they're not as opaque. The staining colors, you see the difference. Phthalo blue, they're very bright and they stain the paper. So if I would try to get those up, that stains the paper more. And another staining color is phthalo green. And a lot of people won't use the phthalos. I love the phthalos. To me, the best pine tree green is phthalo green, yellow ochre, and burnt sienna, all mixed together, and they make the most beautiful pine tree green. Isn't that pretty?
Yes.
So I use the staining colors all the time.
Especially if you want to bring some sunshine into the trees.
Just, yeah, I don't know, it's just, anyway, I hate this. I'm gonna do it over. I'm not gonna work on it.
Thank you for showing me
Yeah.
that. That was great.
And
Something
I'm trying to
I've
figure
never
what, I'm losing words as I get older. What's this red called? Alizarin, the alizarin crimson. That's a staining color. So the alizarins, the phthalos are staining. The cerulean, ultramarine, the earth tones are all gritty. There's more gritty colors than staining colors. But really, there are people who will only use one or the other. I use them both.
Yeah, and that's just in oils, or is that in?
No, watercolors.
Yeah, but the oil watercolors, the ones that come out of the tube. I'm sorry, not oils, but the ones that come out of the tube.
These all came out of it.
Okay, because I've been.
You squeeze them into this and you let them dry.
Okay.
So is that why you have this out to show that that's what you do, or are these just different colors? Are these just more colors?
Oh, that's just one of my other paint trays. I have a ton of them. This is my oldest one. This is my 1969 one.
That's your oldest one, the one you're working with.
Yeah.
Their lighthouse pictures are bringing me back to this picture I took a minute.
Oh, yeah.
This is a reference,
Up
but
in
the
who is it?
stormy skies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know that lighthouse well.
Yeah, the sky painted reminded me of that.
Have you started it?
No.
It's dry.
No, it's
wet,
pretty
okay.
wet. Yeah, I don't wet the whole paper first. I never do that, except sometimes for a sky.
Okay.
In fact, when I do that sky over that I don't like, I'll probably do that.
Okay.
I'll do a wet sky.
Okay.
Because skies should look wet. But
You have to work so fast.
I know.
I paint like you, I think, like layers and layers. And
one thing I have to do is turn it the other way for a minute. I'm always turning. I do all my skies upside down. I never do a sky right side up.
And what's the reason for that?
Well, first of all, if you do a blue sky, they're darker and
At the top.
cooler at the top anyway, so
Right.
you want it to run that way. And then you don't want it to run into your things.
okay, that
And
makes
then if
sense.
I do like to do wet skies, mostly for that reason, I don't want it to run.
Right into your
like I didn't use any masking fluid on this,
Yeah.
but on this one I did. What a waste of time that
Okay,
was, because
yeah,
I
that's
don't
a
like
lot
the
of
way it
masking
came out. Hate masking fluid.
I just got some of that.
I hate that stuff. This is a rigger, and there's a famous story, I don't remember who told it, probably Charlie Mulvally, about someone who did a painting of a ship with lots and lots and lots and lots of, rigging. And someone looked at it and said, that's got rigor mortis. Because they use their rigor too much.
Yeah, I just bought one. And a calligraphy brush. I just bought a calligraphy brush.
Is that a wedge type of thing?
It's long and it's thick, and then it comes to a tiny little point.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
It's like a liner, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know what I like for brushes.
My favorite brand used to be this one, but I can't find them anymore.
Dagger?
And it's worn off.
I like a dagger.
It's low Cornell something something, and you can't get them anymore. But I just opened this up for the first time that I bought it at Michael's, and it's a Cotman, Winsor Newton Cotman, which is an expensive brush, and I like it. I'm not one of these people that has to have a $500 paint tray and
No.
$700 squirrel hair brushes. I don't.
Me neither.
Cheap. Someone said to me, "What kind of pencil do you use?" I said, "Whatever I find in the street." Yeah, if I find a pencil, I'm like, "Oh, look, a pencil."
so I'm thrilled.
I like my son's my first Ticonderoga. It's like a big fat pencil for children. That's my favorite.
Just getting some of this boardwalk in.
That light spot that you took off with the paper to know right down where you're working now, it almost from this angle looks like the sun shining through the ripples of the water.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Oh.
From this angle.
I could have added a little light. I don't know if I want to add light here, though, because I want your eye to go to this. Composition, when I started teaching, I pretty much self-taught. And the Fuller Museum asked me, and I said, no, I don't teach. And she said, she wouldn't take no for an answer, basically. This was when I was working at the lab. And so I thought, well, ooh, how am I going to teach what I do if I never took lessons? So I started reading up on things, especially composition. And I go, oh, I do that. Oh, I do that. I didn't know what it was called, and I didn't know how to say it, but I did it, you know. People have said to me, it's not your style that wins you all your awards, it's your composition. People who are loose say that to me.
And I think that comes from your photography background.
I was going to say, that's photography too.
And I think it comes naturally to some people. Like this one, for instance. This is in San Francisco. I'm on a cable car. These are cable car tracks. That's a cable car. The photo, these people are here, and this is a car. So compositionally, it was not good. I moved them over, although it looks a little too much like they're dancing because they're in the same position, and made the car a cable car, which made it more San Francisco and more interesting. And there's all buildings and stuff, and I was going to put them, but when I got to this point, I liked the fog, and I said, nobody knows what street that is. That could be park on either side or something, so I didn't even think about putting the buildings.
I like it because it's not distracting. You go right to...
Yeah, you get the glow
Right.
of the fog. That won a national award right before it got rejected here. And listen to this, it won a national award in Rhode Island. This judge is from Rhode Island. I'm thinking, and then my other one that got rejected also won a big award in Rhode Island, and she taught a workshop there last year, right when that was on the wall with the big ribbon on it. I think she might have, don't put this.
There now, so I can go pick them up.
To the Don Mar.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
Attleboro.
Oh, my son lives in Attleboro.
Oh, whereabouts?
If you go down 23rd,
There you go.
I'm sick of it.
So this is where we are right now.
This is where we are, but I'm going to work on something else. I'm going to go blow this dry.
All right, great. So when you buy those art cards, watercolor paper art cards, right?
I've never bought those.
Okay, so what is this one? This is just a piece folded over?
No,
or-
it's a card. It's meant to have a photo or a painting or something
right,
put in it.
Right.
You know, it comes with the envelope and everything. It's dark
Right.
green, and it'll show a green frame around it a bit.
Oh, okay. It shows a screen frame on it.
So it takes like a 4x6 photo or whatever.
Right. Well, that's a good idea.
I used to send them to my island, you know, my people who did my workshops.
Right.
You know what? I do need those.
And that's such a personal gift.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a great idea, huh? Good idea, honey.
Yeah, my other neighbor, we got the best neighbors. My other neighbor gives us eggs. They've got chickens. So I made her, some gifts come from the hand, some gifts come from the heart. And so she really likes the painting. And her cat, I didn't know it had died. Yeah.
Before you gave it to her?
Yeah. In fact, it's funny, I had the idea and then I put off doing it for kind of a long time.
So when we go away, what? Yeah, I'm going
Where are you going?
to Maine for a few days with the girls.
Uh-huh.
And you can what?
You can fix anything. People believe that you can't fix mistakes in watercolor. I spend all my time fixing my mistakes. Yep.
Yeah, you go back.
Very easy to
So
do.
when
Give that class.
yeah.
I don't know if I'll do it again. I'm retired from all that. I really
Yeah.
am. In fact, getting out all this stuff today, all my books and stuff, it was hard to remember everything because it's been years since I've done this.
Right.
So, yeah.
But you still paint all the time.
Oh, yeah. I still paint all the
Still, yeah.
I just don't do the workshops. I don't go to Europe anymore. I don't want to get on a plane anymore the way it is now. Yeah.
No, my husband says the same.
Or anything, but he could draw. But my uncle was a professional artist.
Oh, really?
So that's his side of the family. And my mother was a musician. She played guitar and piano. So
that's where you got that
both.
side, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So your dad made this. I'm just recording this. So your dad made this so that you could paint.
So that when I
You-
did things like this,
Yeah.
it probably was Pembroke because back in the early years I used to do this every year, so that I could slant. Because I don't like some people paint flat and they even stand up.
Yeah,
to do
yeah.
that. I would, oh, my back would kill.
I've done that.
I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Okay.
So,
So, then you slant it.
slant it.
Great idea.
Yeah, this is too small, so I didn't bother. But
So this has been fabulous. Thank you so much. I'm
and
so
you know
glad
what?
we
How
did
can
this.
I see that? Can you?
Okay, so what
do you
you're
have
gonna
my email
do?
address?
Okay, so what you're gonna do? Okay, is
I'll take one
you
of the
should go
cards.
to. All right, everybody. You go to my YouTube page, which is Photos by Denise. Photos by Denise.
PHOT.
TOS, yep. All right, and then what you do is Photos by Denise, and you subscribe and you like this video because it brings me higher up on the algorithm.
Yes.
And I thank you very much. And this was a great demonstration. Well, not a demonstration. You were just
Artist in
painting.
action.
Action.
I'm in
This was a
action.
great action
This
day.
is me in action.
All right. Thanks a lot, honey. Appreciate it. Becky, what's your last name?
Haletky. Did I give you my card?
You did. But let me just end it. Let me end it with the card, the business card. Let's see if we can get that in focus here.
And everything's the
I
same.
don't think I can. Nope, I'll try to take a picture of it.